G'day, Stu from UAV Futures here, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday, where every Tuesday we get together, we talk about some new, different, or exciting technology in the FPV drone racing world. And today, well, one of probably the most requested videos I've had for a long time on the channel. People have been asking me, Stuart, what do you think about Betaflight versus Butterflight, Butterflight versus Betaflight, whatever you want to call it. We've got two different firmwares right here. I'm going to link them down below. And essentially, for those of you who are new to the hobby, these firmwares are what control our flight controller. So it takes all your stick inputs, makes it nice and smooth, that's what it's meant to do, and just makes it for a nice, enjoyable flight experience. Now these firmwares, they've come a long way. Butterflight's the new kid on the block, so what we're going to do, we're going to sort of do not some blind testing, I've got a bit of a cold, sorry, not some in-depth analysis, but we're going to take them out to the field. I've got two identical drones here, so this is the DT Space Wolf. I'll link those down below as well, and shout out to my patrons because we're going to send one out to them, and pretty much we're going to take this out, fly it around. They're exactly the same. They've got the same props, same motors. The kit is identical. They'll be using the same batteries. We'll take it out and we'll just get some flight impressions and find out, you know, from myself and some other pilots out there. Shout out to Granger FPV, the kid on the block. He should be here soon. To be honest, he's actually standing behind the camera making a bit of a giggle at me. What's going on, Granger?
Not much.
And it is kind of weird shooting this video with that there, but we're about to go out for a fly. We're going to put these two through their paces and find out, is it all hype or is there actually a difference between Butterflight and Betaflight? So let's cut out to the field and find out what these pilots think of them in 3, 2, 1. Rightio, out here in the field, let's rip it around, test some Betaflight, Butterflight. I think I wrote on the bottom, do I get it right? Yeah, Betaflight, Butterflight, find out if we can tell any difference. We'll hand it over to Granger as well. Check out some DVR, and hopefully the weather's going to hold up because we got absolutely drenched. We skated here. I mean, I am covered in mud. So we'll just see how it goes. All right, let's rip some packs and see if we can find out any differences. All right, so I'm getting a few little oscillations there. You can probably hear that, and that's going to be interesting to compare that on Butterfly, which is meant to be a bit silky smooth. Well, that's what they sort of say anyway. I'm going to just cut the throttle and see what it's like. It is, I don't know if it could just be a bad tune, so that'll be interesting what it's like as well, but it feels like this one definitely needs to have a bit of eye gain pumped up as well, because it's very sloppy on low throttle. It doesn't seem too different when I'm just coasting around, but I am definitely getting some oscillations at high throttle. And I don't know if that could just be the drone or not. Also very windy today as well. I found the whole setup and everything like that, like setting up Butterflight when it was time to use that, you know, just as simple as Betaflight. Very, very familiar. I didn't find any real differences whatsoever. But in terms of the tune, it's going to be interesting. Can I notice a difference? Probably doesn't help we're flying inside this metal gazebo as well, so we might be getting a few dropouts on our reception. You can probably hear that in the camera. It's definitely shaking a little bit on some hard turns. Definitely needs a little bit of a tune. And this is also worth mentioning, this is different to the original Space Wolf that I reviewed. So I think they've changed the motors out since the version when I first checked this thing out. All right, what we should do, let's bring it in and then straight away put up the Butterflight quad and see if we can get any sort of difference. See how my landing goes.
Alright, steady landing, guys. Come on, Stu, you got it. Whoa, almost into the pole.
Okay, there's definitely some difference when it comes to that punch out. Just listen to this, I'll see if I can get it close. You might be able to hear the oscillations, but they're definitely not as bad as on Betaflight. Listen to this. So it is a lot smoother. There's something definitely with the tune and the eye gain and the when it comes to sort of falling out of the sky, that zero throttle, that was there on both of them. But I think it is a smoother ride. Just sort of on the sticks, I feel like it is a bit smoother. This metal canopy's really messing up our reception, so we can't go too far today. And it's been pouring rain, like we mentioned. So the reception's disgusting, but I think that's part of pilot skill, is being able to fly through some terrible reception. How do you think it sounds, Granger, just listening to it?
The top end definitely sounds a lot better. As for Betaflight, it was oscillating. It sounded like it was oscillating pretty badly.
And we'll do a few hairpins as well, a few sharp turns. All right, I'm going to bring it in and then sort of sum up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to not say too much in my final thoughts, and then we'll get Granger to fly it as well and see what he thinks.
And you...
Rightio, so give it, all right, Granger, so you're on the sticks, give it a bit of a punch. Tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say that oscillation's like?
10 being the worst, probably about a 7.
Okay.
So that sounds respectable.
Do you think it's a well-tuned quad at the moment?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about in some sharp turns? You getting some oscillations?
Yeah, a lot of prop wash, a lot of it. Yeah, the tune isn't the best on this. The FOV is terrible. I cannot fly like this.
You don't like the field of view?
I can't see anything. It's like I'm looking down a toilet paper roll.
Okay.
I can't see anything.
All right, give it some snappy rolls or something as well, and then we can compare it to Butterfly once we put that on.
Alright, so when I do the snappy roll and I let off the stick, it seems to keep rolling very slowly, which is, I don't know what tune that would be, but that's not good.
Do you reckon what we should do you want to bring it in, then we'll put Butterfly on and see if it can make a bit of a difference?
Good. Alright, now let's try my landing.
Alright, let's see how you can land. Oh, Jesus! Oh, what have you done, Granger?
Where am I?
Hold
on. We're not done yet. The FOV, you can't see.
That was the worst landing I've ever seen. Okay, you need to go about 20 times slower, mate. Slower.
You weren't lying when you said it's hard to land it.
Let's ready for a hop swap. We'll put on the Butterfly quad. Ready?
Sounds good.
Alright, Granger, the butter is ready.
The butter?
So straight away I want you to give it a big punch and then tell me the oscillations out of 10.
This is 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. It's probably like a 4.
So you think it definitely made an improvement?
Oh yeah, definitely much better, and it just feels much better on sticks. Yes, much better. But yeah, this is very smooth. Like, well, not very smooth, but a lot smoother than Betaflight. Yeah, on this particular quad, yes.
Alright, what about do some quick rolls and that sort of thing, see if you can feel any difference?
Catches it much better. This is way better.
So do you definitely think there's something in terms of the firmware for oscillations?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you going to be making the switch in your race rigs to Butterflight?
You know what? I probably will. This is actually good.
What would you say to people out there who are sort of on the fence?
Butterflight's probably your better option.
Why?
Well, if you want a smoother rig, I definitely think Butterflight's the way to go.
Right.
Just in general, I think Butterflight's probably just a bit better for your quad.
Okay. Alright, let's bring it in.
Alright.
Let's see how your landing goes. Slow it down, mate. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, what's going on? Where'd you go? Oh, here he comes. It's 100 to... Oh, not bad.
That was better. That was better.
Okay.
That was better.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my Tech Tuesday quick look at Butterflight, and the long and short of it is, you know, what's the answer to the question, am I going to be making the switch? No, but could I feel a difference? Absolutely. You know, when it came to Butterflight, which is this one right here, in those top end oscillations, it was a lot smoother. It wasn't jumping around as much, and I do feel like it handled a bit better. Betaflight still did a good job, but yeah, overall, I thought it was going to be hype, and I didn't think I'd really be able to tell that much of a difference on the sticks, and hopefully you guys could see that sort of when we're flying around as well, and even hearing it, Butterflight did sound smoother, so I definitely think they're onto something. Go and check it out. I'll put the links down below. It was just as easy to configure. It looked exactly like Betaflight, so it took about, 2 minutes or something on the computer. If you can do Betaflight, you can do Butterflight. So overall, it was very, very simple to set up, and I've got to say, it did have something going for it. Am I going to be putting it on all my quads? No, not really. Only the ones that don't fly well. So if you've got a quad out there and you're getting some oscillations, I'd say try Butterflight. It might do a bit of a better job. I did feel it a little bit in the prop wash. It does handle very, very nicely. But look, I'm in a different circumstance. I've got a lot of drones. I'm not going to be putting Butterflight on all of them, but I will be putting it on my main ones. Things like my Chameleon, my Talon, my America, all those top tier racers, I'm going to be putting Butterflight on them because I do feel like it does a bit of a better job. I'm getting a cold. It's getting a bit stuffy in here. It's hard to talk. And another thing I want to talk about in this video too, shout out to Granger for coming to help me. I'll put his channel down below. I think it's Granger FPV or something like that. But these two, they didn't fly as well as I was expecting, and that kind of worked out well for the video for you guys. So we had a bad quad to see, if the firmware could actually make a difference. But GearBest, you've done a bit of a boo-boo here because these are different motors than the original Space Wolf that I originally reviewed, and it's just not the same. So look, I don't think, if you're going to be ordering this one, I'll put a little disclaimer on my old Space Wolf video too. They've swapped out the motors and it's just not the same. The tune's right off, so they definitely need a bit of work. So warning, if you're going to go buy one of these, just make sure you're getting the one. I think we're there with the 1506 motors. They performed much better than these ones. These ones were very, very sloppy, but it did make for a good video. video and it sort of showed the differences between Butterflight and Betaflight. Anyway, what do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. Massive shout out to my Patreon supporters because look, these were actually their prizes and I sort of borrowed them. They're pretty clean. I didn't crash them, but yeah, I needed 2 identical quads for this video. But these will be going out to you. Subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAV Futures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.